Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I will be showing you guys how to beat Five Nights at Freddy's 6 Tuesday, or night 2. So this night is, since last night you salvaged Molten Freddy, you're gonna have to be dealing with him this night, which is not very ideal. But there is some strategy you have to put into this night now, since there is an animatronic. So when you first start the night, of course, wear headphones so you can hear. Automatically start the motion detector, and you can maybe see where he is right off the bat. But honestly, just start out the night by doing a task, by turning on the motion detector, and you can hear like a little blip. Now I would say use silent ventilation, which I don't really use it too much, because there's a new update where if you turn off the terminal now, that the silent ventilation also turns off, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, so with that, I mainly just use motion detector. It probably is slightly tougher, but I mean, it gets the job done. I've beaten all the endings and all the nights with just using it, so it seems to work. Again, if you have a different strategy, totally up to you. But yeah, after you finish a task, and if you do hear any noises from the right or left side, of course, always turn to that side, and you can kind of hear when the task is done on the terminal. There will be a little blip sound. Once you hear that, turn everything off, including the fan and the terminal, and just listen on that one side for about 8 seconds. So if you listen for 8 seconds and you don't hear anything, then you can go ahead and turn the terminal and fan back on, go straight to the terminal, and turn on the motion detector, and you should be able to see where he's at. And if you hear any noises coming from that side or the other side within that 8 seconds, look to whichever side you hear the noise from, and then recount the 8 seconds. And then whenever there's no noise, turn everything back on, start a new task. And mainly just start a task and look towards the side that he's closest to, just in case if you miss a noise, like he's most likely to be on that side anyway, so it's like if you miss like hearing something, then you'll rather just be safe than sorry, you know. So yeah, it's basically just this. Like, one animatronic isn't too bad, but when it starts getting to 2 and 3 and 4, like, it gets pretty difficult. But with just Molten Freddy, all you have to do is really just listen and just be smart. Like, you have no time limit, just take your time. Even if it takes you 10 minutes, like, honestly, just be safe, honestly. If you do die, then you just have to restart, nothing crazy. But yeah, so just use that motion detector, listen really closely after each task. Now if he's like really close on one side, you can just start a task, listen, and then start another task and listen. You don't have to turn off the terminal after every single task, but if you want to like be really safe, then you may as well. But that will have to be the case when like later nights come about, just because you're gonna have to be a lot more careful with multiple animatronics instead of just Molten Freddy. So yeah, honestly, that's all it is. I do recommend buying the power-ups, which are in the equipment little button on like the bottom right of the terminal, when you first turn it on, or like when you first get into the night. If you're just going for completion ending, yeah, you can decorate your little pizzeria if you really want, but I just like to save up my money for the power-ups because they are insanely useful for later nights. And of course, use no advertisements, because those are going to kill you later on. But right there, you can see who's at the top left, so I'm in a pretty comfortable position here. I could just kind of do my tasks and just kind of look at that side again. Yeah, so once you finish all your tasks, just log out, and we're on to the salvage stage. So you can see that only took me like 3 minutes, not too big of a deal. When your first power-up, I would recommend getting the 2x printer, just because of that one's the most annoying. And so yeah, and so now we're doing Scrap Trap. So this one is a little more, I would say, a little more tough, but again, not too different. It was kind of a close call on this one a few times. just because, not necessarily just like it being close, like with him jump scaring me, just because I had to listen really closely with noises on this one. And so he's a little bit interesting. So it's the exact same as all the other animatronics, except after every little bit, I would just pause it and listen really closely. And if you hear a heartbeat noise, like a pulsing heartbeat, I think I heard it right there, then immediately shock him, because that'll be really dangerous, and he can jump scare you at any time when you hear those heartbeats. So you want to be extremely careful and just zap him. Now, I used the zap pretty early on here, which is kind of unfortunate, but we managed to get through. But yeah, so Scraptrap, as you can see, he's in stage 1 right now. So I believe so when he's in stage 3, you can see his teeth like that. That is stage 3 right there. So when he's looking up and you can see the bottom row of his teeth, that's when you shock him, because that is stage 3. Now, one thing that you guys are probably wondering, after the very last flip up for paper, you do not have to shock him if he's in stage 3. So say you finish the 5th one, flip it up, flip it down, he's in stage 3, you can just wait it out, he won't jump scare you. But like I recommend in like the 3rd one and the 5th one, those ones are probably the longest ones. As you can see, he's in stage 3 again, kind of unlucky. So that's all 3 of my zaps. But luckily, he was pretty lenient later on. I think he was in stage 3 in the very last one, but I think we managed to get through. But yeah, so if he is on stage 3 on the last one, don't worry about it. But through like number 3 and 5, I'd recommend stopping a few times between, just listening for heartbeats. You do want to have your volume pretty loud so you can hear it, because it can be very vague sometimes. So you just want to be safe and just make sure that you get this. And the extra $1,000 is pretty nice. That it can help for decorating, just any customization you want, or just buying power-ups. So yeah. That's most of this night. Tuesday is pretty similar to last night with the salvaging, and the night is pretty similar. Just, of course, listen, wait for 8 seconds. If you do hear a noise on one side, turn to that side, wait it out, turn everything off, and then turn it back on. Check the motion detector, check what side he's on. Well, you can see which side he's on. Start a task and look at that direction, and that should be it. You can see he's in stage 3 here, but I'm chilling because that was the very last one. So yeah, it shouldn't be a big issue. If you guys do have any questions, let me know. This can be pretty confusing for beginners. You know, I've had a lot of experience, so it's easier said than done. But I promise you, if you just take your time, really just practice, you'll get it down immediately. And practicing these skills will help a lot later on. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. And also, if you do get a lawsuit, then that's kind of a rip. But yeah, anyways, see ya.